What's up, Hobbyist? Welcome again to another Dragon Ball Super content. And yes, as I promised, I'm gonna share to you my deck profile of Majin Buu. By the way, this Majin Buu, I already tweaked it after I played in the regionals card market. I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I forgot. But yeah, I already tweaked it, so this is not the same deck I used. Just a little tweaking, not that much. So this is my idea of mono green Majin Buu deck profile. So yeah, I'll just share it to you, and I hope you get to learn something new, or if you want to suggest what do you think most appropriate build for Majin Buu, comment down below and share your thoughts, guys. So come on, let's go. Alright, Majin Buu, this card, place one card place one card in your life under this card. When this card is tapped, draw 2 cards. It's really a good very fast for awakening and of course drawing mechanics. It has an active main. Once per turn, Spirit Boost 1. Place up to 1 battle card with energy cost 4 or less in your opponent's drop area. Under this card, choose up to one of the chosen card's keyword skill, and this card gains that skill for that turn. So this could get at least a double strike or critical if they play that one drop. I know that's not a keyword, that's on auto, but if they have some 4 drop that or 4 or less of card that's going to drop, you can get it, and yeah, basically have critical or double strike for this. And when your life is 4, you may draw 1 card and switch out of your energy to active mode. Awaken side, when these cards attack once per turn, draw 1 card. Then active main, Spirit Boost, once per turn, choose up to 1 battle card with an energy cost of 4 or less in your opponent's battle area or drop area, and place it under this card and choose up to one of the chosen card keyword skill, and this card gains that skill for the turn. So same as the front side of the card. The next active main is which is so good for defending also for the next turn, because place 2 cards under this card in the opponent's drop area. This card gets 5,000 until the start of your next main phase. So it's like you have a passive passive Sensubin if you remove 2 of your cards under this leader. So but there's some still use for the cards under this leader in our Majin Buu archetype. So right, so that's a leader. I'll share to you first the Majin Buu pieces in this deck. Of course, we have this Unison, Babidi. I only have 3 Majin Buu that when you play, look up the top 5 of your deck and choose up to one Majin Buu, green Majin Buu with 5 or less, and put into your hand. And then 4 of the 1-drop Buu that when you play you get to draw 1, and the 4 Buu for the Union Absorb. This is the only target you can get for the Union Absorb, and of course the Negate Buu, the Topo Negate Buu. So basically this is the Majin Buu. This is the Majin Buu archetype in this deck. So usually this is actually I forgot something. Also this 5-drop. So basically this Buu is mostly, aside from this, mostly for your early turns. Except for this, of course, is a negate. Just like Topo, that when you negate the attack, then discard 1 card from your hand. Your opponent need to discard 2 from their hand every time they attack. So this is the most basic archetype for this Majin Buu deck. So of course you have the Babidi, the Unison, the 1-drop Unison, but I usually play this at turn 2. I usually play these 2 Boos for turn 1 for drawing power or getting a Majin Buu, because if I have a card from my leader, I could Union Absorb it to this first turn, and then I could play this in my next turn so that I could get to use the Servant Overlord in this in this combo. Yes, I use the Servant Overlord in this combo because I need to draw as much for the mid or late game. So this is just early aggressive. I think this card is really uh, early aggressive because when you play this, you could active main limit 1 that you can play a Majin token using a Spirit Boost. So it's a really great early game for an giving pressure to your opponent. Alright, so that's the Majin Buu pieces in this deck. I have a lot of tech in this deck because you'll never know what happened, especially right now, all the tournaments, all the local tournaments having the best of 1, so anything goes by, anything is possible. So I managed to get most of the tech that I could use in this deck so that I could play all around other leaders. So other good cards for this card is this field, because when you Union Absorb, you can absorb this from drop area. So it's a 4 cost green card that could be played from drop area. Then you can activate the healing pod for drawing a card, for playing a battle card 4 or less from your drop area. So this is a really good card for another drawing power. Of course, the super combo would be the Great Saiyaman. Of course, draw 2 and put 1 card at the bottom of your deck from your hand. And mid-game or late-game Unison would be this Vegeta Babidi Unison, because these are really great for board control at turn 4, ignoring barriers. So imagine, I managed to play 2 of the Icarus Gohan with blue-yellow engine. So by mostly turn 2 or turn 3, they're playing their Bojack with Aegis, and it's really hard to get rid of it. So but with turn 4 of my turn, I could get rid of it, and this is really a great card for giving pressure. Usually at turn 4 or later that game, you don't usually need this anymore, because as I've said, the Majin Buu archetypes are just for early game pressure for your opponent. So giving more pressure with this, it has double strike critical, so it's a really great card. It's a really great Unison for green decks especially. And of course, if you have 5 or more markers on this card, and if you're going for the game, you can activate this main if you have if your leader's evil wizard card or all of your energy is green, which is basically this mono green. Choose 3 cards in your opponent's hand and discard them. So every time I use this, I always go for the wins. So this is a great discarder because you choose a card, not your opponent. So you can randomly choose their negates, their counter or whatever. So these are really great for finishing the game. Of course, one of the staples if you're having Unison is this counterplay Frieza. Only round 3, not 4, yeah, because as I've said, I have a lot of tech in this deck, so I managed to lower down this. But you can do 4 of these, but these are really great staple counterplays if you're playing Unison. So KOing your opponent's battle card that's 7 or less, it's a really great deal for playing this for free if you have Unison. Of course, I have another counterplays. Basically, I target this Dodoria is a counterplay that if your leader card is a mono green and you have a green Unison card in play, if the battle card being played has an energy of course 2 or less, it is placed in Norse drop area instead of being played, then play this card. So I really want this to counter that Zamasu the Terminator, the blue-yellow counterplays. So instead of them playing that, I counter it with this counterplay so that their Zamasu won't be played. And it's really annoying. It's really annoying if that Zamasu is there. So it's really great to have this as a tech in in this deck. Of course, one of the great tech cards, because when you search for the Majin 4 drop, you need to discard. No, if you search, if you Uni Absorb, you could search Majin 4 drop, and aside from that, you can search a 1 drop Unison. And if you do that, you need to discard a card from your hand. So this is a really great card to discard from your hand, because you can play this from drop area, and it is a blocker skill. And if your opponent has 5 or more energy when this card is KO'd, your opponent discard the card. So it's a really great tech deck. So a really great tech card for this deck. So I play 3 of these. And of course, playing green is mono green for your energy. Really, grabbing this is really great because it has a 15k boost power, and you got to choose to discard from your opponent's hand. So this is a really great card for mono greens. Of course, one of the staple negates, the Dormant and the Homicidal clone for this deck. So these are free negates, and this is a two-time not negate, but two-time defensive power, because at first you gotta negate the attack and then you gotta play a blocker. So these are really great card, these two, and they are free to play. You just take a life, and this if you have a Unison card in play. Right, let's go for the tech cards in this deck. So first off is this Towa. These are really great card. Early overrun for me. These are early overrun for me because it only requires a 3 in your drop area for you to use to overrun. And this one of the good cards to partner with Majin Buu. Imagine if you discard 2 cards from your leaders under this card, so it has gained 5,000 power, and then when you overrun this, you get to choose one of your leaders or battle cards and gains 5,000 power. So imagine it's 25k, just sitting there, 25k, and then your opponent will need to discard a card. And this is a late game or a finisher overwhelm, because it costs 6 cards in your drop area to overwhelm, but it's a dual attack of 25k. A really staple overwhelm in all of the decks I've seen. Of course, double striker Champa. It's a double striker Champa for killing it. And 2 of these Goku. This is a really great surprise for your opponent. It's just a 1 drop, and it has a Spirit Boost X. So you can Spirit Boost X means you can take away markers, remove markers as many as you want. But this card gains 5,000 power for the turn for each marker you remove from your Unison with this skill. If you remove 2 or more markers, this card gains double strike for the turn. Imagine going all out with your attack, so beating your opponents with the gate, and then you just leave 1 energy. And then you play this for a surprise attack. Imagine taking away all of your all of your markers in the Unison, so it gains that much power, 5,000 times that marker you remove, and then double strike. So it's really great for surprising and turn for your opponent. Also, I also have one this. This also a great surprise for, but it costs 3. But it's a deflect, so this card will surely hit the board, and it has a triple strike attack, and your opponent discard 2 cards from their hand. So I really also tech for surprise attack. I also have this card. I just use this for a removal in my opponents, because some of their cards are really hard to remove, if especially a higher cost or their SCRs. So because discard this card from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's battle card with an energy cost of or less than or equal to the number of cards in their hand, ignore them bar and KO it. So it's just a really tech card just for removing cards from your opponent. But you can also play this for 3 energy. It has deflect, and when this card is played, play 2 Shield Armies token with 10,000 power, and it has an active main. Once per turn, choose up to 2 of your Shield Armies token, and they get 5,000 power. So your Shield Army token is a 15k attackers, and and this 20k attacker, so it's really good also for giving pressure to your opponent. But I only run one of these card. And alright, another tech from the anniversary box 2021. This I find it so I'm using that this card is a really great card, good card, especially going for the game. Imagine you combo this, and then your opponents combo with your super combo, and then you activate battle, remove their super combo. So imagine removing that 10,000 super combos. You just remove 5. This is just a 5k, but you're gonna remove this card from your combo area, and then your opponents remove their 10,000. So removing your 5k is okay, but removing the 10,000 of your opponent's combo is a really great trade-off. So I just put 2 just for attack in this deck. And one of the black cards I played is this Ultimate Dark Dragon Center. It has a counterplay. Your opponent is playing a Unison card. They may either remove a marker from it for every 2 cards in their drop area, or place it in their drop area instead of playing it. If they don't, your opponent can only attack 1 time for the turn. This card, yeah, that's the only you need in this card is the counterplay. So imagine your opponent play their high cost Unison for ending the game, so they could not play that, or that will be their last attack. And then you have also a negate in your hand, so you can probably defend your turn that turn. And one of these Oceanus, it has counter attack. Choose 1 card in your hand, discard it, negate the attack, and play this card. If you played a card, your opponent can attack for the turn unless they place the top 4 cards of their deck in their drop area. And this is also a blocker, so really great for stopping your opponent for their aggressive attack. So this really good. By the way, it has a permanent. During your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3. So these are 2 costs negate that could stop your opponent's aggressiveness. And one of these is the Hunt of the Demon God. It's a counter. If your leader card and energy are all the same color, which is it's gonna be because you're gonna energy all the green cards in here, and your opponent has 4 or more energy, negate the counter attack skill of an extra card with energy cost of 1 that it was activated without paying its energy cost. So imagine this really great surprise for countering your opponent's counter, especially when they counter it with Dimension Magic or the Dormant, just the 1 cost that they do not pay. So this though but it's most probably all of you maybe all of the cards of your opponent has that 1 drop that usually doesn't pay with their negates. Alright, and the SCR I choose to this deck is this Majin Buu Kibito Kai Absorb, because for 2 cost, active main / battle, play this card from your hand, and your opponents can attack with battle cards for their turn. I don't usually in my card market experience, I haven't played this in my opponent's turn. I always play this in my turn because I always going for the game and getting their Unison. But these are also good for playing this for countering your opponent's Unison when they attack, because just Spirit Boost 2, when this card is played from your hand, choose 1 of your opponent's Unison card and gain control of it. So it's a really good control for your Unison of your opponent if they use their Unison as their final attack. And of course, the one last card that my most favorite card in this deck is this commemorative photo. I know. It's just a funny card, but I like to use this for fun. But in the card market, I didn't have a chance to play this because I haven't pulled it, or when I pulled it, all of my cards in my hand are really needed, so I ended up using this as energy. But it's really good for, if you're just having fun with your opponent and you know you're gonna sure win, and just play this for alternative win in your deck. So by the way, there's one card that I haven't discussed. Yeah, this is the 5-drop Buu. This is more of a late game. So this is also a board wipe for your opponent. And board wipe for your opponent, board wipe from you. All of the battle cards and Unison cards are gonna be wiped in the battle area, except for the token card. So imagine if you summon many tokens because of your 4-drop Buu, they're gonna be remain, and then your opponent's gonna discard 2 cards in their hand. Now, if your leader card is Green Majin Buu, which it is, those 2 cards will be put under this leader instead of discarding it. So these are really great card for mid to late game. It has a deflect, and it will surely hit the board, and it has a permanent that when this card is in rest mode, your opponents can attack your leader card unless they choose 2 cards in their hand and discard them each time. And it has revenge. So the only weakness of this card is it could be controlled by lineage SCR. So that's the only weakness. And when I play this, my opponent managed to gain control of it. So, but it's okay because that next turn I played the Unison 4-drop to clear his board. So it has also another auto that if you have 5 or more energy, if this card is placed in your drop area from a battle area by opponent's skill, play this card from your drop area. So if your opponent managed to KO this because it has no barrier, this could be played again. So this is a really great card. So that's it for my Majin Buu deck. Yeah, it has a lot of cards. It's not just Majin Buu. Because like I said earlier, it has playing best of 1 with a lot of decks right now because of the ban list, because of the erratas. There are a lot of decks. Yes, I know right now one of the meta is the Gohan Icarus, the Soul Strikers, but in my experience in my card market regional, I played a lot of different decks. I played 2 Icarus, but the others are I played with Cell Surge, I played with Soul Striker, I played with Broly. So that's why I have a lot of decks in this card so that I could at least maneuver or be flexible in every kind of deck. So that's it. Next deck profile would be a Soul Striker. I made that deck for my wife, and I'm not really 100% how to play that deck, but I really like to show you what build did I did and try to explain what kind of play I'm thinking when I build that. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I hope I did get give you some tips or idea regarding this Majin Buu deck. And if you have some suggestion or if you have requests from some deck profiles, I'm happy to oblige and make some creative decks, not just meta decks, not just some net decks, because I'd love to play, I'd love to discover, I'd love to build decks that is out of meta, that is not trending. So I'd like to think outside of the box. So that's why the only archetype of the Majin Buu I had is it's just few, and a lot of this is a tech deck so that you could get around from playing it. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. If you like my video, just hit that like button, share this to your friends, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and please I appreciate you guys. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I do hope you could help me, and it will be a big help for me, especially for making content to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I know it's been so long, so see you again to my next video. Bye!